Guys, what's up? I'm with the local DIY superstar, Ken, a fan favorite. We're working with these slabs of Redwood and are gonna make custom outdoor countertops. This project is super sweet. Stay tuned and enjoy the video. Step one, we're gonna cut this table to size, and then we're gonna jigsaw this bad boy open. The piece of redwood is not deep enough for Ken's countertop, so we're gonna create a river using this solid squared off piece of slab lumber. I wonder what this thing was used for long ago.
I think it was a table.
It was a tabletop, like in the garage, outside with nothing on it?
Outside, nothing on it.
Wow. It's gonna come to life as soon as we slab jig this thing. Me too, yeah, it is. So we're gonna cut this to size. Step two, we're gonna jigsaw it. Step three, we're gonna use those cool grinding discs to make that cut more organic and not like a cookie cutter pattern. And then it's time to build a form and fill it with casting epoxy. Thanks for bringing this project to me, Ken. It's always fun working with you. Let's cut this bad boy with a Sasquatch. I'll grab the jigsaw.
It's got a meander, or what do you?
Yeah, I would just.
We got a sink in here.
You got a sink right there.
Yeah.
Well, we're gonna make it as one, boom, and then cut the sink out.
We'll cut the sink there.
So we just gotta keep that in mind when we do our steel. Remember, when we can't put steel there. Yeah, I just make it organic. Have fun with it. Check that cutout. That's awesome. It's okay. Just come in when we use this bad boy and carve in some so it's not, you know, it doesn't match perfect, and then it'll be fine. That's cool. You know what I mean? Just make it organic. Hold on. And then we'll come back and sand that a little bit. Okay. Level it down. We'll just give it a more organic so it ain't straight, you see? It's totally organic now. We're here to template. The reason we came on site to template is that angle right there. Save your butt later on. Template. Our template material is available on our website. It's very inexpensive and super easy to use. Did I bring the acetone? Yes. All you need is template material, a little bit of acetone. That's what glues this stuff together. A Sharpie to make some notes, and you're off to the race. Oh yeah, I forgot. You need a utility knife to cut this stuff. Watch how easy this stuff is. I need a longer one. Can you grab me one longer? So a little bit of this acetone is all that's necessary. Bam, see that? Just barely any on there. And this stuff will chemically fuse. So I'm gonna hold this right along the front edge. Come over here and push down and hold. Hold it maybe 15, 20 seconds. And then that's gonna fuse. So here's my template, guys. This is my cabinet or custom-made structure going outside. This is perfect. I never could have figured this out just off of measurements. It wouldn't have worked out well. So I know this is gonna be my front edge, so an X marks an edge for me when I'm doing countertop templates. And then I'm gonna write oven. Right here, we're going 2 inches plus 2 inches. This is gonna be backsplash. Bam. We're gonna go center point's 38. It's about an inch. 38. Sweet. That was easy. Back to the shop.
All right.
right, it's time to build our forms to pour our casting river. But first things first, I'm gonna clean off all this debris that's been accumulating on these slabs just with a bristle brush. I just don't want any of this junk getting into my casting river when we go to pour that. That's actually pretty dang good, Ken.
So we good?
Yeah. Bingo. It's 107.5. Bam, right there. Okay, it's gonna go. That looks good.
We good?
Bingo. Looks good. Cool. I'll get the blower again. We're ready to pour. Oh, you need black? I got black. I'll grab those just in case. We're doing a lot of epoxy. Let's go. Supercast. We're using supercast because this is about 2 inches. If you're going under 1 inch, we use the normal casting resin.
Whoa, that was fast.
That was one little drop, for heaven's sakes.
That was amazing. Pouring?
We're pouring. You want to do the honors?
Yeah, I'd love to.
Yeah, just pour here and let her fill it up. Yeah, keep it going. Okay, let that self-level out. That's soak in. Yeah, I'm gonna add a little more. We're gonna bring it up till it starts to overflow onto the piece. The supercast has a long cure time. That's because it's designed to pour thick. You could pour those woodworking projects in one single pour and not worry about that failing on you. Tomorrow I'll come back and odds are this is still gonna be a little bit gummy. It won't be sticky, but I'll be able to push my finger on that. That's completely normal because it all soaked in.
Yeah, I did. It went someplace though, right? It always goes someplace.
Yeah. It's like rebar for all those cracks in there. Supercast was designed to cure at a slower pace, enabling you to pour those super thick woodworking epoxy rivers. Let this cure. We'll see you in a couple days. The epoxy's dried really good. We're gonna pull these forms off, Ken, flip them over, and apply the steel in the back.
All right.
That keeps them from cupping. This is gonna be an outdoor kitchen, which is gonna be really awesome. I'm excited about that. But we're gonna have precautions to keep those from cupping in the, the outside humidity. It's Oregon here, so we get pretty wet winters. So we're gonna put, steel every 18 or so inches.
Right.
And we'll hold them back an inch or so from the edge, a couple inches. So we'll cut that steel. We'll rough it up with the metal fiber sander we have because that makes it bite really well. Oh!
Thank you very much. Leave that open.
Oh my gosh! stuffy in there. I love working with you. It reminds me of working with my dad, dude. So yeah, for this puppy, we'll go 1, 2, and then we'll cut a little one. Yeah, so grab that tape measure.
13, 14?
14.
14, okay.
106 divided by 18. 5.8, so we'll make 6. To the teacher that said, what are you gonna do? Walk around with a calculator all day in your pocket? Mitch, you need to know your math. Guys, if you're thinking about woodworking or working with epoxy whatsoever, these metal fiber sanding discs are worth their weight in gold. They do so many tasks, and I don't think I've changed this thing for months. They last a long time. Pick them up at Countertops. You know the rest. Here it comes. Stick here. So we got a little room to sink it in epoxy. There's that. Bingo. Sweet. Okay. When I'm starting my router, I'm putting my router edge here right on my straight edge. I'll guide that and then slowly plunge that bit in, and I'm only have a little bit of my bit on that first pass. A little bit of my bit wrapping. Apply pressure to my straight edge as I go front to back. That keeps a nice straight line, doesn't wander, your router stays nice and safe. When we go to inlay our steel, to keep from filling this up with epoxy and just wasting it, we're gonna plug those holes with a little bit of hot glue.
So what's the next step, Mitch?
The next step from here, we'll take that metal fiber sanding disc. Once this is cured, bring that back down to level, flip it over, and onto the slab jig table. We'll bring that down. Yes, that's when this comes to life. We'll start that first seal coat real thin. Probably with Redwood, you at least need 3 seal coats.
Oh.
You'll come back. Redwood's so porous and off gases, it'll look like we did practically no epoxy. It's crazy, sucks it in. Yep, soaks it right in.
So we can do 3 seal coats.
And then a nice thick, clear, so the seal coats are 1 ounce per square foot. And then the final coat will be a 3 ounce per square foot. Now that the air won't come into our epoxy from the wood.
Yeah.
Nice and thick. We're getting work done here at Countertops.
Yes.
Boom. See you tomorrow. All right, the bottom's all done. Ken, we're ready to slab jig these down. We're gonna try to keep them as thick as possible. That's why we didn't slab jig them at all till this point. So the epoxy's been filled up all the way pretty much as high as we could get it. We started overflowing the levee. I was thinking of that Led Zeppelin song as I was filling it up. But anyway, so I'll grab that slab jig. You wanna take just a hair off each pass. Okay. So Redwood's quite soft though, so we could go a little bit heavier than I did on that black walnut. That sucker was heavy. I mean, that was dense. So I'll grab the slab jig.
Okay.
It's easy to set the depth. It's already been set to our table here. This thing is super sweet. Bam.
Wow, that's a slab.
All right. Sometimes we have cups and crowns in our wood, so I would go to my high point and gauge it off there and work from the highest point down, but I don't see anything. So we're just gonna set maybe like an 1/8 inch down on this router bit to set the depth. We open up here, and this rotates down.
Oh, I see. All right, it's even marked.
If you're a woodworker and make epoxy river tables, you need the Stone Coat Slab Jig. This tool makes quick work out of leveling slab lumber, removing cups and twists with only a few passes. This tool is really tough. My brother Mike invented this bad boy to last, save time and gas running your jumbo live edge river tables across town to that drum sander. Jump on over to our website to learn more about the Stone Coat Slab Jig.
All right, we're ready for our seal coat. We've got these sanded up to 220 grit. That black epoxy edge is gonna look super good in the front. Good call, Ken. This is just a thin coat. I'm gonna use this squeegee here to, yeah, that's plenty.
You want me to go ahead and do the other one?
Yeah.
Oh, look at that color. Wow. I love it.
Yeah, this is gonna be pretty. Redwood and black are like made for one another. I saw Greg do a redwood with black and I went, ooh, yeah, that is.
Well, yeah, and I've seen others do it too. But look at that edge.
Yep. Seal coat 1 is complete. So bubbles like that, that's gonna happen. That's completely normal. Everything's looking perfect. Bubbles are gonna keep coming out of cracks like that as the epoxy fills it up. That's why we seal coat it. We'll be back tomorrow to lightly sand with 220 grit, open up any bubbles like that, and apply another thin seal coat. And look how much this redwood sucked in our seal coat. And I applied a pretty heavy seal coat to this bad boy, and there's sections of this that still just drink it right up. So this is completely normal. Depending on the species of wood you're working with, will really determine how much epoxy gets sucked in like that. So the next step, we're gonna take 220 grit sandpaper and give this thing a real good sand. We're not worried about taking this epoxy all the way off. We're gonna rough it up and then apply another seal coat. Set my bucket right here. Seal coat number 2 is looking quite good. There was like 1,000 more bubbles on this thing. There was big dry spots. We're sealing it up. Everything's going to plan except for this mosquito. Whatever it is, I say it's a mosquito. I say we leave it, and then we could carve it out later and make a dino.
A dino?
Might have dino, well,
okay.
It might make a German Shepherd or something that it bit today.
The DNA.
Yeah, right?
All right.
Jurassic Park mode. No, we'll sand it out. So if you guys get bugs in your seal coats, not a big deal. 220 grit sandpaper buzzes them right out. We're gonna lightly sand this, but we really don't gotta hit it hard. We're gonna sand this guy out.
Right.
So focus on him so no legs and stuff are left. And then your bubbles, you'll start sanding it and you'll see a ring around that almost stays, it's a little high point from the ridge.
Yeah.
We just wanna sand that back flat and then rough everything up. Do a good job on your edge, but we don't really gotta go to town.
Right.
Because this is pretty good. That's probably good. He ain't heavy.
Not my brother heavy.
He ain't heavy. He's my brother. It's a different kind of heavy, isn't it?
Yeah.
Once you get the air out of the seal coat that you incorporated in mixing and smearing it all around, the seal coat process is pretty much done. So I bet you tomorrow, Ken, we'll be going flood coat action. All right, the seal coats are perfect. It's time to do that final flood coat. My favorite part, these are gonna come to life. They already have come to life, so I can't wait to see that thick coat. All our problem areas are gone.
Yep. We filled them all in.
Yeah, we sure did. So one final sanding with 220 grit. We'll clean the tops, and then rather than 1 ounce per square foot, we're gonna do 3 ounces per square foot. We'll use the notch trowel to evenly spread the material. This is gonna be our final coat of epoxy. So for the best results on your final flood coat, I'm gonna make sure the AC's off, and I'm gonna kill any overhead lights. That brings the bugs right to your piece, like it's one of those blue glowing bug zappers. So kill those lights when you're done working with this project today. That'll keep the bugs from landing in there.
I think we're it.
Okay, then I'm coming here.
Oh, you got the big boy out.
Look how far deep that black went in. Dang.
It looks like it's on fire.
Yeah.
Turn your head different ways.
You get a few things right, like mixing, you're off to the races. Yes, top coat time. We do the drips first, so we'll flip them,
Okay.
and then use that metal fiber disc. Just buzz them down, and then we'll clean it up with like 220, so it's nice and smooth. We'll flip them back over and sand with 220. Then we're cleaning dust, mixing up the glossy version today, and then applying it. It applies just the same as we would the natural. There's one difference with the glossy top coat. It's a little thicker right out of the bucket.
Okay.
So I add maybe a couple more ounces of water than I would if I was going natural.
Okay.
So, and you'll notice that as you're mixing, it's almost really thick, like Elmer's glue at first. Like, wow.
Oh, yeah.
So you'll thin it down. You almost want it on the thicker side of a latex paint, and then dry roll it off for that sprayed on finish. We'll let this cure over the weekend. Cut out the sink on site. It's going to be a fun install.
I worked for hours.
Whoa, dude, you did
It
great.
didn't make it all the way down.
It's pretty close. You going to put more on there?
No, I
Leave
filled
it?
it up.
Wow, let me see.
Isn't it cool? I love the way it turned out.
It's very good.
She'll
Is
love
this hers?
Yeah, that's for
It's gonna be her little jewelry box.
Tomorrow's her
Oh
birthday
my
tomorrow.
goodness.
So,
That is great job, dude.
hey, thanks.
She'll hang on to that for life.
Well,
Give that to one of her kids,
you know how
maybe.
kids are.
That's true. My brother Mike was very good at keeping his toys. Like, he still has boxes of toys that are probably worth some money.
Wow.
I was, on the other hand, I would play with it, then I would get my dad's tools and take it apart and see how it worked. And then I could never put it back together. Oh, that's awesome. All right, we're gonna mix up the ultimate top coat. Whenever you start mixing, you wanna be sure to shake part A vigorously. Why? There's ingredients that like to settle, so give it a good shake skis before you pour it out. That's the second time I've said shake skis and somebody's commented on the video about it.
I think it's hilarious.
I know, I do some weird stuff. I'm following my 2-to-1 graph. So if you don't know how to use this, guys, I'm gonna come up, we got a 2-to-1 graph. There's all these numbers. What do I do? How do I do it? I'm coming up to the 5 on my left side. So I brought it right up to here. And now you just bring B, part B, up to that 5. That's your 2, that's your 1. Give her a good mix for, let's say, 45 seconds to a minute. And as you mix the B in, it becomes even thicker. Look at this stuff.
Yeah.
See?
Wow.
See how it doesn't want to come off?
Yeah.
It doesn't want to lay down. That's too thick. So we'll start adding water. And I go little increments at a time because once you put it in, I'm not taking it back out. Getting better. Wanted a hair more thin. Okay. Take your mixed top coat into the bucket. I mixed up too much. That's okay, I have more tops to cover out there. So what I'll do, Ken, I'm gonna wet roll, get it. Actually, you could probably help me wet roll at first. Grab that little guy, and I'll start applying it. I'm gonna kind of go in a V pattern, and you kind of just fill in where I'm missing. I'm gonna completely saturate my roller.
Do you want me to do the same thing?
Yeah. So I'll kind of do a pre-dry roll with my wet roller, if that makes any sense.
Yeah, just
I kind of get it nice and uniform. In my final pass, I like to go the same direction the whole way. Rather than come back, I'll go one way the whole way down. Pick it up, walk to the top, and then glide it across. You could walk the line across, and those little lap lines that I see are already self-leveling out.
Yeah.
This is perfect. I'm gonna get out of here so we don't kick dust on this, because we never swept. So guys, the ultimate top coat will be dry and ready to install the next day and ready for kitchen use. That's amazing. There's no more wait time. You can start using your epoxy project the next day when you use the ultimate top coat. This will dry crystal clear. All those lap lines will disappear. We're gonna cut out a sink on site and install these. I'll see you then for the next step. It's nice because it's cold this morning.
Yeah?
What a cool kitchen, man.
Thanks.
Who designed all this?
Designed what?
All this.
I did.
How many meals do you think you've cooked in your pizza oven so far?
Less than 10.
Wow, okay, it's brand new.
Yeah, we've...
You all the way there?
That.
You are, look how perfect.
That's great.
Dude.
That is incredible. So, what do you think, Joanna?
It's beautiful.
It is.
I just can't believe the designs in that wood.
Oh, yeah.
Absolutely.
This comes your way.
My way?
Yeah. You did a good job.
I love the black.
Yeah, the black edge is really cool. It goes with the wood so well. Let's cut a sink out. We're putting a top mount sink right over this center point. So we have a template. I'll go grab my tape, my jigsaw. We'll get that going. And then we're securing these down and this job's done. It's time for pizza.
Excellent.
Sweet. I'm gonna tape off my ultimate top coat with some blue painter's tape. That's gonna protect that surface. My jigsaw could slide right on here, but this top coat is only a day or so old and I wanna take extra caution to protect this surface. So what we have to pay attention to is the setback. That's the trickiest part to figure out. We're gonna center it here on our line. I'm gonna find the center of our sink template. You're at 24 1/4, which would be 12 1/8, 68 and 5 little lines. I literally have had employees say that to me. Okay, bam. 3 3/4.
Let me hold it down?
Yeah, hold her down. I'll trace this template. I love having templates.
Well, that's why I hung on to it.
Thank you. Good job. I'll push up.
Push up?
Yep. Down there.
Set the sink up.
Boom.
That.
Perfect. When screwing your countertops into the cabinetry, just make sure your screw won't punch all the way through the top. That's gonna be a bad day. I'm gonna go one in the front, one in the back, and one in the middle. Ken, this thing is pretty much complete. What are you doing for backsplash?
Using the corrugated.
The corrugated tin across there?
Rust.
Whew.
Look how well it matches us.
Really pleased that you chose the black as your river. You can't even really tell at this point that we made this river ourselves. It's pretty neat. I had a ton of fun making this with you, Ken. It was great working with you. Once again, it reminded me a lot of working with my old man, so I appreciate when I get to do projects with you. Have you seen one of my newest videos where I tear out the old tile kitchen and put in the new marble?
I have.
So I glued down the top mount sink just how I'm telling you. I'll put tape around it, pull my sink, big thick bead of 100% silicone.
Okay.
I'd go clear as well with this.
Okay.
And then you're gonna put your sink back right on that fat bead, let the silicone ooze out. Now you know this thing is way sealed. You're not gonna have any water getting between the sink lip and the countertop. You'll have your tape down, you'll use your finger, smear all that away, and then either acetone or isopropyl alcohol on a rag will get the residue right off the metal. Perfect. Cleans it right off. And then once you have that nice and clean, you have just a clean bead here, peel that tape. So I'll tear my tape and then peel away.
Okay.
And peel away from the whole top and then let it sit. Then it's all done. And what I'll do too, before that, is put your tailpiece in.
Right.
Put your faucets in, then you're not crawling under there. It's all done. You're just attaching your plumbing. Today's install on site was pretty easy. We did all the hard work before we showed up on site. Ken had this cabinetry ready to go and dialed in. He had nice supports for us to screw in our cabinet and get it nice and secure. We have a special treat today. We're getting a free pizza lunch out of this brick oven. I'm more like, I could do countertops all day as long as you feed me pizza. Like, no charge, baby, let's do this. Front on the countertops. Oh man.
And then you can spread it out a little more on here.
Yeah.
And then obviously you just put your stuff on there. Let's do some of that.
What do you got? Parmesan?
Got some Parmesan. Got some roasted garlic. I like roasted garlic. You gotta have a few jalapenos. Well, you like jalapenos. And some olives. Fresh mozzarella, you just kind of put it on in pads. That's a lot of mozzarella. Holy smokes. Watch the mushroom. Okay. All right, you guys can start making it up. Make up some pizzas. Okay.
It's in there for just a couple minutes?
Yeah.
Couldn't sell enough of these on the street corner.
I think Mod Pizza does so well. What do you think?
I don't know. This looks good to me. I think it's red.
Take a look at this, Mitch.
Oh yeah.
I don't know if this plate's big enough. You guys gotta make your dough.
I'm doing it. I'm up next.
Hey, very good.
It's a pizza pie.
Use a cutting board.